Hey you guys, Desmond here,
And a very sick LaCresha.
and welcome back to the channel. And today we are here to discuss RuPaul's Drag Race Season 16, Episode 5? 4. 4. Yeah, this is our second queen, and we
Or
had two episodes. Yeah, 4. Episode 4. Episode 4. So before we get into it, I want to remind everyone to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. We have a goal of reaching 1,000 subscribers, and we would love to reach it as soon as possible. So for that to be done, I'm going to need you to go ahead and hit that subscribe button. So, what did we think of this week's episode, Miss Krisha? Is your mic off, honey?
me.
Oh, there
Can
you
you
are.
hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you
Oh,
now.
oh, I was coughing and didn't want people to hear me. People have problems watching me eat and stuff, so
Ah,
I'm trying to be considerate.
let's
Um, no, it was a pretty decent episode.
I thought it was a
Uh,
pretty good episode.
mm-hmm.
I'm a little heartbroken by the elimination, but
Yeah,
we'll get to it. We'll get to it. But yeah, overall, I thought it was a good episode. We had a little bit of drama, some heartfelt
yeah,
moments, a
mm-hmm.
chuckle or two in the challenge, and I do mean a chuckle or two.
That's what you. That was about it. It was a
But
chuckle.
yeah, overall, decent episode. We've had worse and we've had better. But let's go ahead and break
Mm-hmm.
down this episode. So we start off after the elimination of our girl Hershey.
Yep, which was also a heartbreaking
It
elimination.
really was. I did not want to see her go. But they read her message with Blash. They sit down and they congratulate Nymphia Win on getting her first win of the season. Afterwards, Q kind of spoke up there and was like, "Oh, like I really wanted to win and all this other stuff." And I'm like, "I understand you've been really close to winning,
Mm-hmm.
but we're only 4 episodes in, and you've competed in 3 of them. Like, don't give me
Right.
relax a little bit. I know you want that win. I know you want to be seen as a front runner, but being constantly close to the top each time makes you a front runner as well.
Yep.
You've been this close each time. You gonna get there. Just relax. It's when I just don't want to see her start spiraling because we've seen queens in the past start thinking like this, and then next thing you know, they lip
Mm-hmm.
syncing for their life and going to the house
Right.
because they didn't got in their heads. And she's an
Yep.
amazing queen, so I just need her to relax a little bit. Just relax.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me, I see a
Yeah.
win coming. I'm not sure if you're gonna win next week, but maybe the week after. Because
Right.
we saw you perform and break my soul. Yeah, so next week's challenge. Let's hope you have a good team. Let's hope you have a good team, honey. But yeah, so we move on to Plain Jane in a mandatory meeting. Um, I'm so glad Amanda is giving it back to Plain Jane.
Yes, she
It's
is giving Plain Jane a run for her
it
money.
apparently it's gonna go boom boom next week because they showed a little piece in
Boom,
the
boom.
they showed a little piece in the trailer for next week. I'm like, ooh, 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 because Amanda's sick of it, and I
I
really
don't
hope
blame her.
I can't wait to hear Amanda on the reading challenge because if she's coming this hard at playing,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I know she gonna read the others down. I know she is.
For Phil.
I know she is. But like I said, playing does she get on my nerves? Yeah. But I will say, I said it last week. I'll say it again. When there's a room full of people, it's
Mm-hmm.
not as bad. But it does get annoying when I'm like, you didn't even know Amanda, and you just ran up on her, started talking shit,
Right. I don't like you or your drag.
and it was just like, girl, nobody likes you or your drag
She makes herself very unlikable.
because she's a good queen. She's a
Right.
good queen. Um, but yeah, it's just it's a little frustrating at times. A little frustrating at times. But if she wasn't there, would this be an interesting season?
Probably not.
And that's what I'm saying, because everybody else seems to be getting along pretty well. Plain Jane said, "Nah, I'm shaking the table." So I
She
appreciate,
said, "Am I drama?"
so I appreciate her for that. I do.
Right.
It's just. There's sometimes I'm like, again, you need to read the room, know when to come in
Mm-hmm.
hot, and know when to
Take a step back.
take a step back. Because, we had a few queens last season who gave us the shade that we needed, but it wasn't
Mm-hmm.
consistent. They gave it to us, they held back a little bit. They gave it to us, they held back a little bit. Plain Jane's on 100 the whole time.
Right.
And I can only imagine what she was like in person. Because we're only seeing, what they chopped and screwed together from the course of like 2, 3 days
Right.
into 1 hour. And I can imagine if Amanda's consistently going, not Amanda, if Plain's consistently going after Amanda, I can see her reaction because I'm like, girl, we've known each other 4 days. Why are you coming at me this hard?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I like both queens. Honestly, I hope they both make it far. Oh, sorry. But yeah, I just wanted to say that real quick, like. So it's the next day in the workroom. They come in, and we have a little bit more, a little bit more with Plain Jane in a mandatory meeting. Oh, my favorite line was like, Plain was like, "Oh, I can't help that I'm a star," and Amanda was like, "Well, stars are full of gas," and I'm like,
Read of the year so far.
wait a minute. I'm loving this little rivalry. I am. Like I said, it's
Mm-hmm.
more easy. And here's what it is. Go back to Plain again. I think it's becoming more tolerable for me to take is because somebody's going back and forth with her. Because for a while she
Right.
was just read, and everybody's like, ha ha ha, ha ha ha.
Huh.
And then Amanda's like, nah, bitch, you ain't finna talk to me like that.
Mm.
So I think that's why she's becoming more tolerable because I don't mind the fact that she's. I think I'm more upset that the others aren't reading back. I think now that I'm thinking
Yeah.
out loud, I'm thinking I'm more upset that the other queens aren't giving it back to her. Because I
I
know I
think
would.
everybody's just trying to self edit.
I know I would. I would like, baby, I ain't blaming nothing on the edit. You come for me, I'm coming back, okay?
Yeah.
You say A, B, I'm going to say C, D.
See you win.
Shoot. You can see me next Tuesday, honey. It's what it is. It
Mm.
is what it is. But yeah, I think that's what it is now that I'm thinking out loud. It's not that she's just reading, it's nobody's reading back. Read her
Yes.
back. She's throwing it out there. It like you let's just continue. So
Mm-hmm.
RuPaul enters the workroom. We didn't get no little room mail this week. I was like, oh. But then again, this episode, I'm thinking because there were so many queens and they decided to do an improv challenge. Kind of
Mm-hmm.
like with the ball, they're like, okay, we got to go because we got to show 11 queens, not 11 queens, we got to show 13 queens do this improv challenge. But RuPaul comes in and announced that they are doing RuPaul's Drag Race live. Just like they did in All Stars 8, it's an improv challenge. And I don't know why RuPaul emphasizes on one take. Every improv challenge is one take. The
Mm-hmm.
only time they get multiple takes is if it's just, like a regular acting challenge. But if they're
Right.
improving, usually it's one take. But I guess it's just to build the suspense. Like, ooh, you only got one take.
Mm-hmm.
So you better do it right.
Yep.
um, so RuPaul's Drag Race live in Tuckahoe. Don't forget, it's in Tuckahoe. I just love how Tuckahoe has been a consistent thing in Drag Race since they introduced it. I believe in season 4 when they introduced Tuckahoe. So
Mm-hmm.
the queens have to pick their roles themselves,
Mm-hmm.
which that always brings a little drama. So
Yeah.
up first we had Plasma and Dawn. They both wanted to be a correspondent. Um, I'm starting not to like Plasma.
Uh-huh. She seems kind of pick me ish.
Not even the pick me. I don't get pick me energy from her. How do I word this? There
I
are
don't know.
two.
She kind of reminds me of one of my students.
She
They
reminds me because, in my opinion, there's two different type of theater kids.
uh-huh.
The ones who do it because they love it, they have fun. It's an outlet for them,
Mhm.
and then the ones that think they're better than the others.
Mm.
Plasma is giving me very Rachel Berry energy.
Ooh.
That's what it is. She's giving very Rachel Berry, and it's starting to annoy me. It is like I like Plasma, and like
Mhm.
I agree with the decision that happened this week. Not to go
Yeah.
too far ahead in the episode, but just the way it took how long it took to get her there,
Mhm.
really just it was like, girl. First, she thought she was an underdog, honey.
Mm.
You were not an underdog.
Yeah.
Your back was not pushed up against the corner.
No.
Unless there's a big piece that was left on the editing floor. I don't know what you're talking about here.
Right.
But yeah, it's just she's giving very Rachel Berry, and it's starting to annoy me.
But I'm always the star.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, so we had that. Dawn ended up getting the position. I did feel kind of bad when everybody was like, "Oh, well, we're friends and we want to do it with Dawn," and I'm like, "Well, what does that got to do with the situation right now?" What does that? That was the only time I was kind of on Plasma side. I'm like, wait a minute, that's
Mm.
not a valid argument to make
Excuse.
to say you want Dawn to do this role. I'm like, don't make me agree with Plasma. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. All right. So then we moved on to Plain Jane and Morphine Love Dion. I mean, in this case, Plasma was trying Morphine not to play a role, which would have been in the same scene as Plasma. She's like, "Oh, I don't see this
Mm.
role for you," and I'm sitting there and I'm like, "That couldn't have been me. If I was Morphine, I'm like, I want the role." Like,
Mhm.
even if I wasn't interested in it, no, I want this role. You don't want to work with me? I'm finna come in here and I'm finna outshine you. Because being the character, I think Morphine could have done a really good job playing that, ditzy character similar to the one we got in All Stars 8.
Yeah.
Because at first I thought it was the same skit. I'm like, oh, okay,
Uh-huh.
okay. But yeah, it couldn't have been me because I'd have been like, you know what? You're right. I'm gonna take this role. I want it. We're gonna work together, sister. Let's go. Come on. And then our final little boop boop about the roles, we had Safira Cristal and Mirage wanting to be the host of the event.
Mhm.
And, at first they were having the conversation, and Safira was like, you know what? You can have it. I'll do this role. And then Mirage was like, I guess. No, sis, you wanted it.
Uh.
She gave you what you wanted.
Mhm.
You said you wanted it. She's like, okay, cool. I'll do this role over here. I'll be with the singers.
Mhm.
You do it, boo. And baby, that shook her.
It
I guess she was
really
thinking
did.
she wasn't going to get it, even though she wanted it.
Mhm.
But baby, you got it.
Yep.
I would have done that too. I'm like, there you go,
Mm.
take it.
Take it.
Because I'm good on reading body energy, and I'm like, okay, yeah, you do it. You got it. Yeah, you
Mhm.
got it. I'm gonna come over here with these other ladies. Sing some Barbara. Sing some Barbara.
Mhm. Barbara,
Some Barbara.
you're gorgeous, honey.
So after all that, they go through their makeup, and we come to the main stage. We have
Mm.
RuPaul here. What do you think of RuPaul's look this week?
Ah, that was pretty good. Pretty
It
good.
was
Nice
really
and light
cute.
pink.
It was really cute. It seems similar. I mean, it seems familiar, but also different at the same time.
Very much so.
Like, oh yeah, this is something new, but it's also very classic Ru. Like, this looks like something Ru should have been doing. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it looks good. The wig is in the right spot. Here lately it's been trying to rise, but they heard me. They heard me back in the past, and they brought it down.
Right. They gave her a 4 head and not a 5 head.
Yes, Raven did a good job doing Rue's makeup. Like, this is a really good
Yes.
overall. I love the
Because
cinching
she looks
in.
like Ruth. She doesn't look red in the face.
Mm-hmm. She looked good this week. Everybody did their job accordingly, so I want to give them a round of applause.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so this week we are joined by Michelle Visage, who looks lovely as always. Ross Matthews, which makes sense. We had a comedy challenge, so sure, be here. And the Queen, Sarah Michelle Gellar, is in the house. Now, I'm going to be honest with y'all. I never watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I know. I never did. I know her because I was a big Scooby-Doo fan growing up. This was Daphne. This was Daphne. Like, I love it. I love it. And she was such a great guest judge this week.
She really was.
She really was. You could tell she's a fan of the show.
Yes, very
And her
much
critiques
so.
never came off mean. Like, it was really good. Honestly, she can come back
Right.
anytime she wants.
Very much so.
Please
I
come back
love the little joke she threw in there. It's like I've waited my whole life to
to
say
say
that
that.
joke.
Yeah.
Just a prince.
Oh my goodness. I did love the line when they first introduced, I've been slaying bitches my whole life. I'm like, yeah. I didn't even watch the show and I caught that reference. I'm like, yeah. You were slaying them, honey. You were slaying them.
I
But,
didn't start watching Buffy till Michelle Trachtenberg was on there.
mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah,
yeah.
I didn't watch Buffy at all. I might put it on my
By
list. I might,
by
but my
that
list is
time,
already, like, extremely long.
we were getting annoyed with the whole Buffy Angel
Yeah, because
story
Angel
arc.
was a spinoff, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Angel started out on Buffy and he was like a love interest, and then
Mm-hmm.
at some point in time he like up and disappeared and ended up in like New York or something.
Yeah, I remember. For some reason, I knew Angel was a spinoff from Buffy, even though I never watched the show.
All right.
But let's go ahead and get into this improv challenge, honey. So we had our opening scene here with Tsunami Muse and Morphine. What did we think of these two here? I'm gonna let you go first on this one.
Well, in light of like the New Year's Eve we just had with Anderson Cooper
Every year.
and them getting drunk, it was very reminiscent and it made me laugh. I was like, how could they have just known? How did they
Because
know?
what's his name? The one that does the Bravo stuff.
Uh-huh.
Him.
Andy.
Andy, he's drunk every year at these things. Like, if you go back and look at it, he said he is drunk and he's always saying something he should not be saying on network television. I'm like, Lord. But yeah, overall, I thought they were fine.
Yeah, serviceable.
Yeah, like I chuckled a little bit.
Hmm.
It's just like, I don't know. It didn't give, like, the jokes were funny. It's just their delivery wasn't.
It was very dry.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
wasn't urgent like it needed to be
And like
because
with
this is
Morphine,
supposed
I
to be
understood that because she was playing that drunk
right.
character. But Tsunami, I was like, come on, give us a little some more. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But yeah, they did. Next,
Something.
they did. Up next was Maya Iman Page. I want to give her props for trying.
Yes, very much so.
Because a lot of queens will get on here and be like, "Oh, this isn't what I do, and I'm not gonna
Right.
try." Did she do great? No,
No.
but I gotta give her props, honey. She was out there trying. She was not finna let that stop her.
Nope.
And like I chuckled a couple of times at her, especially when she climbed on the house. Now
On the
that that physical comedy is what got me.
yes.
I was like, but yeah, but we gonna talk about that share look. Ooh wee.
Mm.
Ooh, up next, we have Geneva Carr. Ooh wee. This was this was rough.
It was very rough.
It was very rough. And she couldn't do a southern accent.
Nope.
And my thing is, you know, we find out later that she didn't know who Lindsey Graham was, and I'm like, why
Well, we
didn't?
found out before they even filmed the sketch she
Yeah,
didn't know
and
who
I'm
Lindsey
like,
Graham
why
was.
didn't you ask beforehand? Because you could have realized that's a southern woman there.
Right.
And you probably could have got one of the southern queens or a queen that could do a decent southern accent to step in and do that.
Right. Or at least, you know, helped you out a little bit and been like,
Yeah.
no, you need to talk like this.
Because, honey, I'm from Texas. Like, I have a natural southern accent, but I know how to make it thick if I need to.
Yeah.
And apparently, my
Right.
accent gets thick every time I leave Texas because it never fails. Somebody clocks me from being You're from Texas? Yes. I don't think I
But
sound southern, but when you leave Texas, they were like when we went to LA, there were several times I'll be waiting in line and I would say something, and I'm like, oh my God, are you from Texas? I'm like, yes.
yes.
And to me, I don't really sound that southern, but hey, apparently it's
Look,
in there.
when I lived in California, people always clocked me for having a southern twang to my voice. Like people
Hmm.
would be like, "Are you from Alabama or something?" I'm like, "No." They were like, "But you have such a southern accent." I was just like, "I don't know." And then later found out because my grandma, is the one who helped raise me. I just picked up on her accent. She's from Idaville, Oklahoma. And then when I moved out here, I still think I sound like I'm from California because I enunciate. But my niece will get on the phone with me and will be like, "Oh my God, Auntie Cretia, you have such a thick Southern accent. Oh my God, you sound like you from Texas." I'm just
I
like,
will say this,
"You
knowing
sound
you
like
for
such
all the
a
years
girl."
that I've known you, when I first met you, it was more intact, like that Valley girl in your voice. But like
Uh-huh.
over the years, it's just like we've just beat it out of you. Like, no, stop it. And like at times it'll come out. And I'm like, oh, there it is. But yeah, I think the longer you've been in Texas, the more it's starting to throw out. Especially since you were raised with your Southern grandmother. It's like some of the older, it's just coming out again.
Right.
Yeah, but it's still in there from time to time. But most of
I
the time,
sound
you're good.
Southern.
You're good. But when we first started becoming friends, it was that Valley girl was thick, and I'm like, girl, how long you been in Texas?
By that time,
What
I
was like
think I had
5
been in
years?
Texas for like, when did we become friends?
Oh shit,
2017?
17? Was it
So
17?
yeah,
Because I think I was working at the job that I still work at, where you used to work at, for about a year before I actually met you, and I
right.
started in 16.
So then, yeah.
It would have had to been around
Well, you,
17.
yeah, because I think that was when you got transferred over to the department that I got moved to.
Oh, well then that means 18 because I was a direct care for 2 years.
Yeah,
So
because
we would
I
have made
got
it 18.
moved. I got moved to uh instruction from rec
Mm.
in 16,
Baby, I
and
ran
I
to
remember.
instruction. I ran
uh,
to instruction. Like, get me off of here, please.
Well, because I was I was on the home for 11 months and then went to rec. And I was in rec for almost 5 years. And then in 2016, I had that whole situation happen. And then they moved me to uh, instruction. And then I was in instruction till I left in 21.
Baby, I ran the vote. I'm like, please get me off the home. Baby, I always give the direct care staff like as many praise as I can because that 2 years I did it, that was
Mm-hmm.
when it was rough when nobody was working there. Like we're practically fully staffed now. Amen. Let me
Oh
knock on some.
wow.
Well, they started paying folks. They
Right.
started giving folks some money. People started coming out there.
Now, if only they would do that for teachers.
Baby, they should have been did it for teachers.
If
Because
they would pay teachers what they're
from my
worth, you might
understanding,
actually keep some around.
the state of Texas, it was the legislative. How do you say that?
Uh-huh.
They basically told the state of Texas, you either use this money or lose it.
Uh-huh.
So they used it, and I'm like, well, I'm glad because, honey, I needed that raise. I needed all those coins in my pockets because you already know I was one foot out the door. I was heading
Mm-hmm.
either your way or to Copper's Cove, and they gave me that money. I'm like, oh, well, I could possibly
Stay
make
just
it
a little
to,
bit.
I could possibly make it to my 10 year, maybe.
Right. Now, see, if that had happened before I left, I would have stayed.
Hmm. But yeah, I was finna ready to go. I was getting ready to start looking at places, put my 2 weeks in. Like I was finna get ready to go because I was
Mm-hmm.
just gonna transfer because there's a facility. If I would have went to Austin, there's a facility there, so I would have just transferred.
Oh
Um,
yeah, and I know people who work at that
yeah,
facility now.
and then if I would have went to Copper's Cove, there were a few work from home jobs that I was looking at that would have been great for the price of living there.
Right.
So I was like, I was finna go down that path. Then they talking about some money. I'm like, oh, money. Oh, well, I could stay. And then they're talking about, oh, you're gonna get another raise in September of last year and this year. And I'm like, oh, well, I can stay until next September. So yeah, y'all got me for y'all got me for a little bit. But let's get back to Drag Race. We done got off the rails, honey. Up next we had Mirage. Again, she tried.
She tried.
My biggest issue is, I believe they said it during the deliberations or the critiques, I can't remember. She was going too fast.
Yeah, she got nervous.
Like, she didn't pause in the right spots to laugh because some of the stuff she was saying was funny, but because she
Mm-hmm.
kept going, I'm like, oh, wait, I'm trying to listen to what she's saying. I don't want to miss
Right.
anything. And then she'll pause for laughter at the wrong time. She was like, I'm like, no. And that's the one thing about, working by yourself. There's nobody to bounce those ideas off of. Like, no, pause here. Okay, pause
Right.
here. Because if you don't have that comedic timing naturally, you're not going to know when's the good time to pause. So when people start laughing, you're like, oh, okay, well, hold on.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was just, it was rough. It was rough. I do love the red pleasers, though. I'm like, I'm still going to put these pleasers on, honey.
Okay.
What did you think of Mirage's hosting?
I felt I felt bad
Mm,
because you could tell she was nervous.
mm-hmm.
And when you're nervous, that's when you start just da 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 and da 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 and da 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 and you just start and like I noticed a huge difference from the very first time I ever gave a speech and how nervous I was. And like now that I'm a teacher and I'm in front of 19, 7 and 8 year olds daily, that I got to sit here and do like this. So now I can get in front of the adults and be like, boom, 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 boom.
And see, that was me. I actually learned that skill in high school, though, because I didn't really care for public speaking. I really didn't. But when I left band, I was put into team leadership because that was the only available elective that was left. And that I gotta give my teacher. That's why I love my teachers. I gotta give Mrs. Sheffield her props because she really helped me with my public speaking. Like to the point where I wrote this speech. It had quotes and everything in it. I left it at home. So I got up there and I gave that speech by memory. And you wouldn't have known that I left that speech at home. You wouldn't have known. And afterwards, it was like a peer review type of situation. So they were talking about, oh, what they liked and what they didn't like. And I remember one of the girls was like, I really loved how you had most of your speech memorized because I don't think I saw you look down at the paper. So I'm like, well, I'm just gonna tell y'all the truth. I picked up my paper; it was blank. I'm like, I left my speech at home, so I had to just give y'all the speech. Luckily, I did have it memorized. But yeah, that really helped me with my public speaking. So what people don't know is part of my job duty now is I have to teach a group of new hires. I do it about once a month, and I've been doing that 4 years now. And usually there's anywhere from 20 to 30 people in those rooms. And everybody's like, well, how do you just go in there and do it? I'm like, hell, I was taught how to do it. You got it. That's a skill you have to learn. And unfortunately, Mirage didn't have that skill. Because I feel like I would do good as the host. I feel like I would come out and do a really good job doing the host. Yeah, thinking back at it, I'm like, I think host would have been the one I would have wanted. Or I would have wanted to play the brick from Stonewall. Those were the two that I was really liking. But yeah, not everybody has that public speaking skill. And on top of that, not only is she there, she's doing it in front of the judges.
Right.
Everybody else had their moment, with the
Off
cameras.
stage
Maybe
with a
RuPaul was there,
camera.
because they say RuPaul sometimes be there and just be sitting in the corner
Mm-hmm.
watching. But she did that in front of all the judges. So it's just like, okay. So we move on to We Love Dex with not Mirage, Lord, with Megami and Plain Jane. What did we think of
Mm-hmm.
this sketch here?
Um, it had funny parts. I was just a little confused by it.
It reminded me of the one they did on All Stars 8, and I want to say it was for Dex there too. I'm like, did y'all just reuse that sketch?
Hmm.
Oh no, theirs was a lawn service. Now I think about it,
Yeah, I
maybe.
think so.
Yeah. Okay, but yeah, me personally, I thought Megami ate this up.
Mm-hmm.
I thought she did a great job. I liked what Plain Jane did, but it didn't click. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah, she was good, but like I don't think she
She was
like the
just
top. I
there.
don't think she should have been in the top this week. Me personally,
No, not really.
honestly, I would have gave that spot to Megami, but we'll talk about that a
Yeah.
little bit more later. But I thought Megami really understood the assignment. Yes, that traditional, oh, I'm a slut, yeah. But
Uh,
Plains,
uh,
yeah, Plains interpret. Oh, say that word, please.
interpretation.
Interpretation was I didn't really care for it.
She was giving very early 2000s Paris Hilton.
Very much, very much. It just didn't. She was trying to give that, in my opinion, but didn't do it successfully. There we go.
Right.
Got the words out. So afterwards, our special, our special guest, our special music guest, RuPaul came up and performed "Giddy Up,"
Mm-hmm.
and I ain't gonna lie, I was impressed. I'm like, look at Ru.
She did a lot more moving this time
A lot
around.
more. She's like, I done took me a few classes, honey. We had a little bit more time to rehearse for this one because this is episode 4 instead of episode 1.
Right.
But I love how each, because she's been doing this now since what, like 14, doing a little
Yeah.
performance every season.
Uh-huh.
I want to say she's been doing it since 14. And like each time she's just getting a little bit better and better. I'm like, okay, Rue, I see you go ahead, get down. Do your little one,
Mm-hmm.
two. All right.
She was like, all I had to do this time was 1-2 step and pat some booties.
Yeah, like next thing you know, she's gonna be really pop locking it. But yeah, I was giddy upping and I enjoyed this performance. I love this screenshot here. Rue looks so good here.
Mm.
Uh,
Now, my question is about that stage, because it don't look like it's the same stage that stage looks a lot bigger than the one that they had.
I'm thinking this is. I think this is a lot big. Hold on, let me go back because we're just looking. Go back. Okay, boom, boom. Yeah, I'm thinking this could be the Vegas stage now that we're talking. Or no, you know that stage that they've been using here lately, like with Candy Muse and Jimbo. Remember when they did
Uh
their final song performances? They were in this little studio where they did it. I'm
huh.
thinking this is where she did it.
Uh,
Yeah, because that's not the main stage.
no, that doesn't look like the main
So
stage
I
at
think
all.
that's the same place that they did Candy Muse's and Jimbo's performances for All Stars 8.
Because that stage that she's on right now comes to a point at the end.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think that's what this
And you
is.
tell we pay too much attention.
uh,
That even in my bleary state, I was like, wait a minute, that don't look right.
Now, if they really wanted to give the SNL vibe, RuPaul should have came back and did another performance. Because, usually the musical
You
guests do
get
two
two of them.
performances. But let's move on to the Q&A session that we had with a mandatory meeting and Dawn. What did we think of these two here?
Dawn had one really good one liner.
Yeah, she had one, but Amanda, I was really impressed by her. I'm like, okay, Amanda.
Right.
Like, she was doing a really good job over there. Like, I was thoroughly impressed. Yeah, Dawn did good.
Right.
Yeah, she did. Like, she didn't
Yeah,
bomb, but
Dawn was
like,
there
yeah, Amanda was the star here. And then their special guest, what?
until
Our special guest was Q, who was the brick from
Q.
Stonewall, who did a really good job here.
Yeah, she was so funny.
Like, I really enjoyed her. Going back and watching it the second time to get the screenshots, I think I enjoyed it more than the first time.
Uh huh.
But yeah, I really enjoyed Q here. She was really funny. And I love how she rolled away and then they did that pan out and you see the green
Yeah.
screen, you just see her over there sitting in her bricks. that tickled me. I'm like, okay.
Uh huh.
I like that.
And it was kind of funny because you're looking at it and you think that's a whole bodysuit, but then when she gets ready to roll away, you just see that it's like half of a bodysuit.
Mm-hmm. So we're moving on to the ladies, Plasma, Nymphia Wind, and Saphira Cristal. Um, this was amazing.
It really was.
Two of them were amazing.
Uh huh.
Uh, Nymphia was there.
She tried
She tried.
real hard.
Like, I gotta give her props because she was with two really strong performers and she stood her own.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Like she didn't fail at all. It was just you're next to Plasma and Saphira, the two singers of
Right.
the season. And Plasma gave Barbara down. She
Yes.
gave Barbara
Well,
down.
gorgeous.
And I just
Yes.
loved seeing
I love
how
her.
royal Saphira looks over there. Like,
Uh-huh.
her presence in the room is always felt.
Yes.
Her presence, I'm sorry, is always felt. I saw the presence and I said present. But yeah, I really enjoyed Plasma here. I really enjoyed Saphira. Nymphia was there, but she did good. She did good.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, overall
Mm.
this was really, I enjoyed all three of them. What did you think of the Barbara quartet?
That was so funny. It was a quartet, but there was just
Only
three of them
three.
there. It was funny. They were like, "This is in dedication to." But yeah, it was funny. I loved it, and she did. She gave a really good Barbara.
Hmm. And that is our maxi challenge for the week. Whoop whoop whoop.
Woo.
So this week's category is everywhere, every share, all at once. When I tell you, I gagged. Because I was
Mm-hmm.
expecting, the night of 1,000 shares, every other night of 1,000. But
Right.
everywhere, every share, all at once. Whoever came up with that, give them a raise, okay? give them a raise, because I still need to watch that movie, but still, give them a raise. That was so good. That was
It's
so
on
good.
Netflix that costs $25.
And then I heard they're trying to raise the price again.
Look, I
I'm
just
like,
need them
girl.
to
And then you
hurry
don't want
up.
us to share our passwords.
Give me season 3 of Bridgerton so that I can hurry up and cancel.
And see, now I'm stuck. Now that WWE is coming over there next year.
Oh man.
Yeah, so I'm stuck. And don't get me wrong, I'm glad that'll mean I can get away from. Like, that was the last piece of anything that was really keeping me close to cable.
Uh-huh.
But now with Raw going to SmackDown, USA will still hold Raw going to SmackDown. Raw's going to Netflix, SmackDown's going to USA. But I can get one of those cheaper ones that we used to get. The what was it, the Philo and the Sling? That's like $25. I can swing back to that instead of the expensive one I'm getting because, my God. But yeah, so is there a Cher look in particular that you would have wanted to recreate?
There's so many.
There is so many. I should have took a look on Getty Images first because I know when they do a Night of 1,000 whoever, they have to pull a reference from Getty Images so that they can, use the photo.
Yes.
So they can,
Yeah.
buy the photo and use it accordingly.
Yeah.
For me, if I could, I would love to recreate. Which album cover was it? Woman's World is one of her recent ones. I believe it was Woman's World. She looks so beautiful on that cover. So beautiful. I think I would want to recreate that. If I wanted to do an older look, I think I would want to recreate a look from her back in her day when she had the Sonny and Cher show. Or maybe it was just her at that time where she was performing with Tina Turner. That Bob Mackie look she was wearing there. I think I would try to recreate that one.
Oh, look, so many. So many. Oh my goodness. There are just way too many.
And honestly, this could have been just a Night of 1,000 Bob Mackies because
It really could have.
most of them
Because she
pulled a
did.
Bob Mackie look.
She did. Exactly.
And I think that's why RuPaul was a little. Did you notice she was a little bit more when she was critiquing the looks this week? Because we all know she's a huge fan of Bob Mackie.
Yeah, she owns a couple of Bob Mackies.
Like there was a whole episode about Bob Mackies in the AJ and the Queen show that should have got a second season. Netflix. Now I don't know what happened. I hate when shows end it. I don't know what happened.
Right. Because they ended it on a cliffhanger.
Yeah, so is Ruby Red in jail?
Right.
Is the little girl back with her mama? Like, I don't know.
Exactly.
But anyway.
Ooh, that's a good look.
You're taking too long to find a Cher look.
Because there's just too many.
But listen, short person, you always know I'm gonna ask this question. You should have been prepared.
No, and I was looking and I still couldn't pick because I knew you was gonna ask this question.
But let's go ahead and take a look at these queens. At first, we have
maybe it would have been the little Indian girl one from the Sonny and Cher show.
Got you. So up first, we have Tsunami Muse. What did you think of Tsunami here?
This was nice.
This
was really good.
Yeah, I like it. I love the illusion. Like, it's simple, but it's good. I really love the wings here. I love wings that don't look like a backpack. You know what I mean? Because sometimes when you wear the wings, you got to wear the big things, and it looks like you have on a backpack. In this case, you don't see it. So whoever made those wings, kudos to them.
Right.
Let's move to Morphine Love Dion. What did we think of her reference from Cher from the Oscars?
It was close.
It was a really close reference. I really like it. I really like it. Close. I thought everything really checked. My only issue is nobody really did Cher's makeup. Like, they just did their own makeup. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, nobody gave Cher in the makeup. And that kind of...
You're right. Because Cher's really just, like, natural with the makeup. She's not very outlandish.
That was the one thing I saw through everybody. Nobody gave Shers makeup.
No.
But I thought this was a really good look. Up next is Maya Iman Page. This look is giving more turn back time than the burlesque press
Premiere.
conference or premiere, whatever this is.
And I think that that's what it was supposed to be, and they just get assigned it, whatever.
My thing is because we had Mirage, who was a little bit later. I believe it was from her tour where you could tell, but it looked more of that picture than this picture.
Right.
So it's just like, did she give y'all that other picture and y'all just didn't want there to be two of the same shares? Or did she really think this suit would be good enough to cover for this picture?
No, because that outfit is extremely unremarkable. So,
yeah, because sometimes, kind of like with Marsha when she did the Night of 1,000 Beyoncé's, she's like, oh, look, I have a green dress. That'll work. But yeah, I like this. It's just, it's not giving Cher. And you need bigger hair if you're going to give this version of Cher. So. We need bigger hair.
Very much bigger hair.
Up next, we have Geneva Carr. I don't like this.
It's understandable.
I wish the hat was bigger because if you see Shers, it's boo.
The feathers.
The feather bigger, is feathering. Okay, there's only a few here, and I understand feathers are expensive, honey, especially the good feathers. And I agree with Sarah when she would say the proportions of this outfit is not correct. And I understand, you're doing your own version of the look.
Your own interpretation.
Yeah, and like I see it. I'm like, I see both looks. It's just I wish the proportions were better in this outfit. Moving on to Mirage. What did you think of Mirage's look here?
I loved Mirage's look. I think she was making a statement with the hair. Like, I get the early 60s vibe with the hair. And it is a little out of date with the outfit. But I like the outfit. That was the one thing that caught my
eye because everybody else, they did a hair that was real similar to their reference. So when she didn't, I'm like, why? And then RuPaul pointed it out too. I'm like, okay, so I'm not the only one that was sitting there confused. I'm like, because if I'm going to pull a reference from someone, I'm going to try to get it down as close as possible.
Right.
Wig-wise, outfit-wise. Of course I'm going to make it my own, but at the same time, I want to make sure I'm still giving the artist. I like this. I really do. I do agree with the critique about the hair, though.
Right.
But yeah, I like this very much so. Very much so. Let's move onwards to Megami. See, this is what Maya gave me. And I'm like, I'd rather them just gave us 2 pictures of this.
Right.
And had them pull the reference from the same instead of whatever that was. But Megami looks good here. It looks like she's finna turn back time. If I could find my way. That's one of my favorite Cher songs.
And the thing is Cher has worn like 3 or 4 different versions of this same look. Outfit. Yes. So there was a completely different one that they could have pulled.
But it's also like, what is on Getty Images? Because I know that's also a big factor. What's on Getty Images?
Everything is on Getty Images when it comes to Cher.
Because she's been around so long.
Exactly.
Been around so long. Up next, we have Plain Jane.
This is the best this girl has ever looked.
I freaking love this look. Head to toe. This was amazing. And I love seeing this style of hair on Plain because prior to tonight, we've only seen her in big hair.
Right.
So it was nice to see the simple, straight. I was living for this. Who's this bothering me in these streets? I was living for this. This was really cute. probably one of my favorite plain looks so far. Like this,
All right.
you could tell she spent some coin on this one. She
Mm-hmm.
spent some coin. And it looks good. It looks good. What did you think of the look
Yes.
here?
I love this look. Like I said, it's the best plain Jane's ever looked on stage. So because the hair is great and the makeup's not overdone.
Yeah, real good,
This
real
is
good. Up next, we have a mandatory meeting. I like this from the neck down.
mm-hmm.
The hair and makeup, it was a time in Amanda's life. I've seen recent pictures of her. She's gotten it together, but I know somebody said something about her silhouette. I can't remember. Oh, I was watching the pit stop, and Trixie said
Mm-hmm.
something about her silhouette. I don't mind it when you're looking at the reference.
Right.
When you're looking at the reference, when you see the Cher doll, I like this. So from the neck down, it's all good in this hood. What did you think of a
Mm-hmm.
mandatory meeting?
I like it. The wig was a little dry.
It's, I
I
think
don't like the I
I
don't
think I
like the
can forgive the
bang.
makeup. The wig I can't forgive. I
Yeah.
can't.
Mm-mm.
I can't. But let's move onwards to Dawn.
Alrighty.
I like the fact that she chose a black and white photo so that she can, choose the color that she wants.
Right.
Um, I still don't like this. Um, it doesn't give share. Like if I didn't have this photo next to me, I would not have gotten share.
Mm.
And I am a big component about doing your drag makeup how you always do your drag makeup. But I think this would have been the one time to do like a happy medium in between Cher and Dawn because that's just straight Dawn. I
Yeah.
feel like there could have been a happy medium in between Dawn and Cher makeup. But yeah, I didn't particularly care for this. I did like it a little bit better when she revealed it
Uh-huh.
and took the coat off. Um, what did you think of Dawn this week?
I wish she would have chose different colors. She could have went with something like a little more pastel instead of
Honestly,
something
with the
so
photo being in black
vibrant.
and white, I would have. It would have been amazing if she would have recreated the black and white.
See, that's the other thing I was
I'm
thinking. Would
like,
have
that would
been
have been really
like,
fun if she would have done that.
yes.
Really
And then I
fun.
wish the hair matched a little bit more.
Yeah.
She could have gave us the cute little curly bang, the
Mm-hmm.
wavy
Not the
hair.
bang. The
Yes, the
bang.
bang,
Oh,
all a 20-something-year-old
oh, oh.
Cher.
So let's
She's
move
been in the
on
business since
to
she was
Q.
14.
Q, my God. Q, my God. It's no longer oh my
Oh
God, it's
my
Q, my
god.
God.
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness. This was everything. And
Everything.
there's like a really good chance that she made this as well. Because, she
Mm-hmm.
makes, I think, no, I think she did. I believe she said she made everything she brought. So she made this.
Uh-huh.
Like, look how fucking amazing this is. The
It's
headpiece
really good.
alone. Like, Q ate this up. She really did.
Mhm.
She really
I
did.
mean, went straight from the reference too.
On the reference, like, baby, can you make me one? In every
Mm,
color.
mm.
Like it's just this was amazing. What did you think of Q this week? Her runway.
Oh, I love this. This was great. It even gives her a little bit of shape.
Right. I love it. I love it. All right, moving on to plasma. I'm gonna let you go first on this one. Like I'm still trying to pick my jaw up over here.
She did so good on this. Like, she just looks so elegant
So
and
elegant, so poised. It's just
gave you everything you needed that was a
yes.
share
And it's
look.
it's just like the episode where she annoyed me the most. She also impressed me the most. It's just
Right.
like, oh, yeah, you're a Rachel Berry, but we also got to remember Rachel Berry knows what the fuck she's doing.
Very much so.
Oh, this was good.
It's always the ones with the nose.
This was so good, so good. Tens, tens, tens across the board. I I lived, I laughed, I loved. It was just, oh, I love it. I love it. Up next is Nymphia Wind. I didn't particularly care for this.
Maybe it wasn't the best thing to try and reference.
Hmm.
I kind of understand she was trying to go for something like different because she knew everybody else was going to choose.
Like, yeah, I applaud her for going different. I don't know, just something about this.
I think it was just poorly executed.
Yeah, it's just like something's missing from this. And I don't know what. Like, it looks nice. Like, I'm not saying it's terrible, but something's
Hmm.
missing.
I think it's too colorful.
No, I don't even think. I don't know what. I don't think it's the colors, but something's missing here. Something's missing. Moving on to Safira Cristal. Mother. Mother, 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 may I? Mother,
Hmm.
may I, please? Like, this is everything. Everything. Everything I would ever need in a look. A Cher look. Like,
Mm.
this is just top tier. Yas.
And then the reveal into the actual concert outfit, like, yeah.
Well, this original piece is part of it too. I'm just guessing
Yeah.
the image wasn't available for them to get.
Didn't have that part. Yeah.
But like when
And
you
then
look
I
at the
like that she
original, it's
matched it to her
there.
skin tone.
Yeah, like my goodness, just stunning. Stunning, stunning,
Yes.
stunning. So we have our amazing 13 queens here. Who had your favorite look this week?
Um. mm, I'm gonna say it was Saphira.
Saphira is a good choice. I'm gonna have to go with Plasma.
That
Plasma,
was my second choice.
Plasma really just woo.
Brought it.
Woo! But like several of the queens brought it this week. Like, because you could easily argue Q. You can argue plain Jane. Like, the queens really
Mm-hmm.
brought it this week. They really did.
Mm-hmm.
So, Saphira and Plain Jane were asked if they would like to use their immunity potions. They both chose not to.
Not to.
And I'm
Wonder
like,
when the expiration date is on
that
those.
part, like, we still don't know when the expiration date is. Like, because I always hate for Rue to be like, okay, if you don't use it this week, you don't get to use it at all, and say if they did a really good job. I'm like, I'm not finna use this when I know I just did great. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But hey, it is what it is. So we find out that in the top we had Plain Jane, Q, and Plasma. In the bottom we had Maya Iman Page, Geneva Carr, and Mirage. Do you agree?
I guess.
Yeah, I guess. I would not have Plain Jane in the top. I would either have
Yeah.
Saphira or Mirage up there. Not Mirage, Lord. Megami.
Yeah.
Either Megami or Saphira. Because I think Megami did a little bit better in the improv because she was playing a character. Saphira was just herself.
Right.
So I think I would have Megami up here. You know, she hasn't been in the top yet. Give her some praise. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I think I agree with the rest. Yeah, I think I agree with the rest. We find out that Plasma is the winner of this week's challenge. Whoop, 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 whoop.
Very deservedly
Very
so.
deserving, very deserving. I agree 100%. For her not to want to do a Barbara character, to go on this rant about
Like,
Barbara in the confessional to the point where they had to chop it up because she was in there
right.
talking about Barbara
Because
for so
my
long.
thing is like, okay, this is like one of your first acting challenges in the show. You're not gonna get typecast just yet. Go with what you know now. Then
That
switch it
part.
up later.
That part.
Go with what you know so that you know, okay, yeah, let me stay.
If
And
I would
then
have read
later
the
on,
description and saw Barbara and I do a good Barbara, baby, I'm gonna do Barbara.
yep,
I'm gonna do
let me do
Barbara.
the Barbara.
Shoot. Now, my
It's gonna
only thing
be
is I wouldn't
a
want to do it.
Streisand.
Yeah, my only thing is I wouldn't want to do it if I brought it as a snatch game.
Right.
Because if I could do a really good Barbara and I brought it for snatch game, then I'd probably be fighting just as hard as Plasma. No, because I already have that saved for later.
Right.
I'm not gonna do that right now. So we
Mm.
gonna have to decide on something else. But yes, did an amazing job. Great job, Plasma. And we find out that the bottom two is Geneva Carr and Mirage. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah, because although Maya didn't do great, she tried. Like, you
She
could see her
tried
trying
and
so hard.
the
And
effort
although her
was worth
look
it.
is not shared, and I think that's what got her there was her look because she could have been safe.
Right.
She could have been, but that shared look, no ma'am, no ma'am, come down here. We need to tell you, but no ma'am, no ma'am. We need to let you know right now, no ma'am,
Uh-huh.
no ma'am. Um, but yeah, I do agree with Geneva Carr and Mirage being the bottom two. They lip sync to Dark Lady by Cher. I haven't heard this song in so long.
Hmm.
I had to go check to make sure it was on my playlist. It was. But I was like, is this even on my playlist? Let me go look real quick. Oh, she's there. Okay, she's there. All right. It's just been that long since I've heard Dark Lady. Um and what did we think of this lip sync?
Mirage did such a good job. It just sucked
She didn't
because
know the
she didn't know the
words.
words.
And here's the
Because
thing,
that would
she started off good. I'm sitting like,
right.
oh yeah. But then when we got to that first chorus, I'm like, wait a minute,
She
because
was off time.
because I thought I was tripping at first, and then Plasma said in the confessional, she don't. I'm like, she don't know the words.
Right. Because I was sitting there, I was like, maybe I'm tripping. Maybe it's just the recording.
Yeah,
And
like
then Plasma was like, her lips aren't moving in time to the words. And I was like, well, dang.
because
Because,
the
like, as soon as she
performance.
did that little flippy dip where
Oh,
the back leg hit the top of her head, and I was like, oh, she got this.
baby, she was able to incorporate a cartwheel and a heel clack into Dark Lady. I never thought that'd be possible. And it fit,
Right.
and the timing was so good. The timing was so
Look, and
good.
the thing is like this lip sync will be like her calling card.
Like, she did such a great job with but it's called
Other
a.
than the not knowing the words, and now you're just living in infamy for
Yeah.
having the best lip sync, but not knowing the words.
And at the end of the day, it is a lip sync for your life. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy all the dancing
Exactly.
and the flipping just like everybody else, but at the end of the day, it is a lip sync
Because
for
I'm
your
sitting here and I'm
life.
like, I know y'all get like at least an hour in between setups and breaks and stuff.
Hmm.
So you couldn't spend an hour to learn the words. What were you doing? Choreographing the whole thing instead
I
of
I
learning
will
the
say because
words?
I've been there before where you go in, you know the words, you're ready,
Right.
but something happens when the lights hit and the music play and you start going and you're like, no. It reminds me very much of Valentina with the greedy lip sync because she
Uh-huh.
didn't know the words. And
Right.
she said in the interview she stayed up all night learning those words. But when she got right there and the music started playing, she
Uh-huh.
went blank.
Mm.
It just happens to the best of us, and I just hate it because
It was a really good lip
it,
sync.
it
She
was,
was giving
she did a
Geneva
good
Carr a run for her
performance. She
money.
did a good performance.
She had a good
If she
performance.
knew the words, she would have stayed. So
Yeah,
Geneva
she
Carr,
so
Shantae,
did.
you stay. Do you agree with this decision?
Under the circumstances,
Yeah,
yes.
it is a lip sync for your life, and she was not lip syncing. Well, she was lip syncing. She just
Nope.
didn't know the words.
Right. She
She did
was
not know
just
the words. So
she was lipping something.
So I agree that Geneva stayed. That would have hurt me though. After watching that, I would have been like, damn, girl.
Right. And
Damn.
then you catch that whole little comment? They were like, not a word.
That was Michelle, not one word. I'm like, ooh. Ooh, Michelle was hot. But that means we have to say goodbye to Mirage. And she had her little moment here. And,
Hmm.
this is the reality. A lot of people be like, oh, yeah, I did this just, when I got off camera. I've always said if I was to somehow get on this show and I was get eliminated, y'all would hear me. Y'all would
Oh,
hear
like
me.
what's her name?
I'll be just like Pangina. Y'all would hear me. Y'all would hear me. Or like Jimbo, because Jimbo, when she got eliminated that season, you could hear her. Well, you couldn't hear her, but when Jimbo and everybody tells the story, they said it was just as bad as Pangina's, but they edited it out. That's what it was.
Mm,
But yeah, y'all, ooh. Because you got to think about it. People invest a lot of time and money. This is the only
yeah,
competition reality show where you got to invest your own money to do it. You don't have to
right.
invest money for Survivor, Big Brother, Amazing Race. You just got to show up. With Drag Race,
Right.
you got to spend money on costumes.
Yep.
That's why I really feel like there should be some sort of like, oh, congratulations, you're on the show. Here's $20,000. Get your looks
Here's your
together.
budget.
If
Yep.
you decide to do anything above that, that's your own money. But we're gonna give you 20,000 just to get you going
Yep.
because the show they got the money. They're making millions of dollars per episode of Drag Race. Come on,
I suddenly regret eating.
come on. But yeah, unfortunately, she sashayed away. They danced to a little bit of love. And we get our preview for next week. We're having some sort of mini challenge. I'm excited because we haven't had one this season. Well, we had the photo shoots, but we ain't had one in a couple weeks. And
Yes.
they're doing the girl group challenge.
And this looks like it was messy.
I don't know because watching this first group here, the screenshot I got, they seem to be
Mm,
given. They seem to be given, but then again, you never know. You never know. I love the girl groups, and Black Butter is probably my favorite RuPaul album. Honestly, it was one of the top 10 albums from 2023. You can fight me on that. I do not care. Um,
huh.
that was a great album. Like, RuPaul and her new producer, they did that. Really
Mm,
did that. The past two albums, like, come on, Ru and new producer.
mm,
But yeah, I'm excited. I hope ASMR Lover is one of them. Even though I
mm.
low key want that to be like the final remix song, you know what I'm saying? I'll be happy here if we can get four girls to write them a verse to "You Make Me Feel," whisper in my ear. That's what you are, lover. ASMR, you for
Are
real?
you for real?
I love that wordplay. ASMR, you for real? I'm like, come on,
Look,
whoever.
and it's the RU that I catch.
Like the triple. Are you like
Yeah.
ASMR? You for real? I'm like, come on. Like that's what got me the first time I listened to it. I'm like, oh, are you for
Uh,
ASM? Are you for real? Like Grammy. That should have got nominated for a Grammy. Like, come
nah.
on. Like, come on. Don't play.
Let's make Rua EGOT.
And what it irritates me because I've noticed RuPaul has really good music,
Mm,
but it doesn't really see any mainstream success outside of the show.
right.
So it just really irritates me. Like I feel like RuPaul could be one of those, like really lead the evolution in dance music, but I think because RuPaul's a drag queen. If we're gonna be honest, I really think
Hmm.
that's the reason. There's still a lot of ugly people out there. But I'm excited for the girl group challenge. I hope everyone eats and have a good time. Icona Pop is gonna be there next week, which I haven't heard that name shit in 10 years plus.
Mm.
I'm glad to see they're still together. Honestly, I think this is my first time seeing them. And the only reason I know that's Icona Pop is because I got online. I got on
Uh-huh.
Instagram and somebody posted in their stories like, "Oh my God, Icona Pop is going to be there next week." I'm like, "Oh, that's Icona Pop." I've never seen them. I've only heard that one song. I don't care. I love it. I wouldn't be mad if they used that as a lip sync song again. I wouldn't be mad because we got that. Oh, was it season 8? Derek Barry versus Robbie. Why do I know that? I swear. Like, give me. I could tell you a lip sync. It was season 8. Derek Barry, Robbie Turner. That was when Robbie went
that's the
home
name
because
I
she
haven't
took
heard
off
in
her
a long
wig.
time.
I'll never forget. Robbie took off her wig towards the end, and I'm like, girl. Now, granted, Derek was eating her up anyway, but that wig just really cemented that she was going to the home. But yeah, I think this is my first time seeing them. Love. She kind of looks like that girl. What's it, Bella Thorne? The one that used to be with Zendaya on "Shake It Up, Shake It Up."
Yeah, Bella Thorne.
Yeah, Bella Thorne. She looks very much like Bella Thorne here. But yes, T.S. Madison is gonna be in the house. She
Tia's
looks.
messing in the hair.
She looks stunning. Stunning. But that is our review. That's all we got.
Yep.
That's what we got. That's the only one this week. Amen. Amen.
Amen.
Next week there's 3. Week after there's 4.
Oh no.
Yeah, they're coming in hot, honey. They're coming in hot. Hopefully, it's a better balance.
I'm glad I'm sick this week.
But yeah, let's go ahead and wrap things up here. Krisha, where can they find you on social media?
You can find me at Cresha McGill. That's CRESHAMCGILL on all social media.
And you can find me in the club, Pocket Full of Bud, my mom. But if I'm not there, you can find me on all social media platforms at Simply Desmond. That's SIMPLYDESMOND. Thank you so much for spending a piece of your day with us. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see y'all next week. Bye.